he walks up. He was like, "You want some cocaine?" I was like, "No, I'm good."
Right.
Then he walks on down. Then I noticed him walking back, and then he came back up to me and he squatted down and was like, "Marijuana?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good." Then he pulls a knife out and was like, "Marijuana?"
Yes, sir. Back at it again. Back at it like a crack addict.
That's him.
I need all of that.
The city of players.
Because people don't understand that it's really a mindset shift of knowing it's possible. And that's our main purpose for the podcast is understanding that you do have outlets. Like if you got $200 pair of Jordans on, I guarantee you can get out the country. It might not be a 3-week trip, but you can get out the country and get back.
Like you always have this perspective of what you think is going to be like when you get there. When you get there, it's like completely different. The thing that you was looking forward to the most ended up being the most boring. And then you end up meeting somebody on the street and the highlight of the trip is just following this nigga around the neighborhood. I know I need one.
We do what we do.
Yeah, right.
Drunk Tourist Podcast in the building. Yes, sir. Back at it again. Drunk Tourist Podcast in the building. It's your boy Yates from Atlanta, aka Wakanda.
And I'm your boy Jarrell Ramos from Portland, Oregon.
And today we have a special guest. We got my boy Joe in the building. How you feeling,
Yo,
man?
what's up?
Man, how you feeling?
I'm good,
man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Man, before we get it started, let's all you know grab our glasses. Go ahead and get a little drink in the system. Go ahead and fill it a little bit. Should put some Sprite in there. Man, Joe, let's start off like this. How many countries you been to?
21.
Experienced.
Very.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Nah, that's hard. Which one was your favorite?
Paris is my favorite city. So I can't say France is my favorite country because I haven't been all over the country.
Right.
But Paris.
What about Paris?
It gives you hella New York vibes. Like
it does.
And like I love New York here in the States. So like it just like the fashion, the get up and go. Like just how it gives you New York, but not really. I don't know. It feels New York the way you move around in the city and all of that.
And it's easily accessible. Right. You can always hop on a train, hop in a cab. You can get anywhere you want to go quick.
But like, like the Europeans, they're very like laid back. Like the store may not open until 11. But like here, Starbucks is gonna open at 5 a.m.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool.
So you said the vibes of everybody was cool. I be hearing that a lot of people think that Paris is like people are super rude and all that type of stuff. You didn't have that type of experience out there?
I personally didn't have that kind of experience.
Yeah, neither did I.
Me either.
Yeah,
I love.
A lot of people say that. I don't know. Everybody say it's snobby and stuff, but I ain't catch that at all out there.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I could be a little snobby too myself, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But if you go over there, you bougie, then you good.
But I don't know. I frequent there often.
So. Hey man, what's your best Paris experience since that's your go-to spot?
I was there for Fashion Week last year, and that was one of the best experiences. I was there when France won the World Cup.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So like that was like a whole different experience.
Sure.
Like it was like
everybody in a parlay.
It was a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. Just like and overwhelming, just from the amount of people that was just.
No, they drunk.
It was a tad overwhelming, but
I can't even imagine, man.
I've just had so many good times in Paris.
Man, picture if the Falcons ever won the Super Bowl. Atlanta would go crazy, man.
Like all over.
Right.
You said you went to Fashion Week. Did you go to any events out there? Did you have to see anything?
I went to a few shows. Rick Owens, Balmain, Isabel Marant.
Hey, see this dude, man.
Now, how did you get in? Because
for sure,
I know with Fashion Weeks you can't really like buy a ticket because
that's
what I always thought. And somebody told one of my fashion friends told me you can't just buy a ticket. You gotta like know somebody or somehow get in. So how did you get into all these shows?
You just show up, you look the part, you act the part, and you just
act
go
like
with
you're supposed to be here, man.
I swear, my dad always told me if you act like you're supposed to be somewhere, can't nobody tell you you're not supposed to be there.
Hey, that's one.
And
you hop out that. You hop out that whip like, hey.
All right, but let's break it all the way down because I'm sure somebody is gonna be watching this who. That's their dream to go to a fashion show. Like that is their dream,
right?
And they have no idea how to do it. So how did you know? Did you know anybody?
Yeah, I went out there with a couple of friends.
No, I mean like knowing somebody who could get you in the show.
Oh nah.
Okay, so as somebody who knew nobody, how did you get in the show? Like break it all the way down so somebody can be like, hey, look, this is our plan. This is how we're gonna get in there. We're gonna buy the clothes. We're gonna look the part. We're gonna get in. But
all right, so first you got to look like you're supposed to be there. Then when we get there, you know, it's signs like for like invites only, press line, this line, that line, whatever. And we just walked up to a line and they wasn't really like they wasn't checking like names on a list or nothing like that, and they just like kind of waved us in, and like you just gotta finesse your way. Like you can't be scared to try it. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like so some people would be like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to be embarrassed."
And that little hesitation wouldn't have probably got you in. Because if you would have walked up,
they gonna notice you because they like, nah.
Yeah. You would have been looking around at the signs, and they would have been like, "He don't even know. He didn't know he's supposed to be here."
Right. You're just supposed to show up and
that's real.
And go with it. You know.
Hey, that's hard. I'm about to try that shit.
I mean, and look, the most they're gonna do is say no.
Right, facts. You're like, oh, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Like,
I wasn't supposed to be here anyway. Right. That doesn't hurt at all.
I'm gonna change clothes and then come
back in here and try that line next time.
Hey, so you heard him, man. Just pull up there and try to just walk in, but you know it ain't gonna work if you just got Wranglers and some Shacks on.
Not some Wranglers.
Well, you never know.
Hey, he might, if you wait, the motherfuckers right.
Cause they be like, man. He dressed like an idiot. This might be the next year's style.
Does he know what he's wearing? He's good.
Let's let him in. That's hard.
For sure. So since you already talking about, you know, you've been to 21 countries and everything, you know, when did you first start getting to traveling, or you know?
As a kid, my dad, he took us on vacations every summer or whatever, and it was a lot domestically, but we went to the Bahamas a few times and all of that. And then once I graduated from college, my graduation gift from my dad, he took me anywhere in the world. He told me to choose anywhere in the world I wanted to go.
Wow,
we could go.
Where did you choose?
And so I wanted to go to Carnival in Rio.
Oh,
and so he was like,
hey, that's a hell of a pick.
That's a real graduation gift. Right. My parents gave me like $200 to like live life, man.
Yeah, and so we were there for a 16-day. Well, it was a 16-day trip, but we were there for 15 because you know travel. And yeah, like that was like my first trip as an adult. Yeah, you know,
when you can do whatever you want. You grown now.
Right, I'm grown. I got a little bit of money because I just graduated, so you know I got the graduation money.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot for 18-year-old.
No, for real.
No, from college.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Not high school. College.
Got you. Okay, so that's a real trip.
Like it was real.
And you just accomplished something major. So
right,
you know,
for sure, you deserved it. You earned it. But we always get into it when we talk about Rio, because I had an amazing experience in Rio. But my boy almost died out there. my boy definitely got robbed. You know, but they ain't getting the money and stuff. But definitely,
they definitely tried to extort me. We'll say that we end up, squashing it, but it could have got ugly.
Yeah, so I had a similar experience. Hold up.
Yeah, wait.
It's normal. Somewhat.
Yeah, right there on Copacabana Beach.
That's where I was too.
Right there, maybe.
That's like the main tourist beach, though.
Yeah, like maybe like 2 blocks. We stayed at the JW Marriott.
That's what I stayed too.
I was about 2 blocks from there on the beach, and it was like midnight 30. And like the beach is lit. Like they got like stadium lights out there, so like it's lit. So I'm not thinking nothing of it, and like it's literally like thousands of people on the beach. It's Carnival, like And so I'm just sitting there. This is my 3rd day there. And I'm sitting there on the phone with my sister, and this dude, he walked up to me and he asked me if I wanted some cocaine, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good." Like I'm sitting on the beach, right, in the sand. He walks up, he was like, "You want some cocaine?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Right.
Then he walks on down. Then I noticed him walking back, and then he came back up to me and he squatted down and was like, "Marijuana?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good." Then he pulls a knife out and was like, "Marijuana?" I was like, no. So then I started like pushing back to put some room between me and him.
Right, so like some space.
Turn around and run, right? So, and then like I'm screaming to try and get people to like bring attention to me because you ain't just gonna kill me and nobody see it. So then, as soon as I stand up, another dude come from behind me. He kicked me in my face.
Damn. What? Hold up. That capoeira is a motherfucker.
Right.
So you backpedaling. You like kind of on all fours.
Right. Like
somebody just come up. Boom.
Like I'm standing up. As soon as I'm getting up, I'm going back down.
Ronaldinho his ass.
Yeah, and then like as soon as I hit the ground, I just stood back up again and took off running.
There you go. Get up out of there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They were not one of them.
Yeah.
Man.
But like, that was like my first big trip too, and like,
Right.
How was the rest of
you said that was the third day?
The third
and
day.
And it's a 15-day long
Like,
day. Man, how was your psyche
how
after that?
I was definitely paranoid. I was ready to come back.
No, that's how I was too. My mood.
I was just like, it's cool to still be here and just like experience the things.
Right.
But like, I definitely didn't go off from my dad no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was just me and him. And like, he was tired after that day. So, I was like, shoot, I'm finna go on out and kick it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I guess that was a mistake.
That's what happens once once your mind has got to get switched like that. Now it's like, because you think about like what's worse that could have happened. So now you're thinking like, I may not take this chance again because it could have been worse. Because I know after, I had the situation where dudes tried to extort me basically over like, drugs and stuff. Like after that, I was like, man, I'm ready to go. Like, and people kept trying to come up, and I'm just like, man, back up. I don't even want to be friendly no more. Like, all that. But
just
like you said, like you said though, it was beautiful. Like the beach and just the terrain and everything.
Yeah.
Were there any great parts of the trip?
Yeah, we did we did a whole bunch of stuff. Like we obviously went to the parades where the samba. I'm bad with Portuguese.
Right.
But the little place where they do all the parades and like like just being there, it was dope.
It was a vibe.
Like it was definitely like Fat Tuesday on Canal Street.
Ooh.
Times a trillion.
Ooh.
Dope Disneyland. That's what everybody be calling it. Man.
Like it was
going crazy.
Dope.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. Carnival, man. I gotta get to the Carnival, man.
Yeah. I
got it. And last year was supposed to be the year.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know how they gonna do it with Corona and stuff.
I mean, hey man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully this die off ASAP, but we'll see.
Yeah. So what's so since you after the fast forward after the trip going to Brazil and experience with your dad, like at what point at that point did you get to like traveling more where you was like really like, yo, I'm a traveler now, like this is what I do, or this is what I love to do?
I started just doing stuff around the States because obviously I just graduated college and you broke, like you just started to work and all of that. You're not getting so I just started doing little things around America and believe it or not, I used to fly Spirit Airlines.
Ain't nothing wrong with Spirit.
Yeah, shout out to Spirit.
Wrong with
Shout out to Spirit. Now I'm
about.
just a little more mature.
Right.
you just got a little bad.
And it's like everybody, it's levels.
But like definitely, Spirit definitely was like one of the catalysts in me going because
hey man,
it's like
don't let people knock Spirit because people gonna make you feel like you can't fly Spirit and that might keep you in the crib because Spirit be having them $20-$30 flights.
$18 flights.
Get up out of here.
I swear to God, they used to have a flight Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale, $18.25 each way.
Damn.
I would go to Miami for lunch sometimes.
Yeah.
Literally, like fly down there, go to lunch, and come right back.
No, that's what
because it's like, I'm not even spending $40 on a round trip. Like,
and normally before that, man, you be spending hundreds. Like, people got to give Spirit a little bit more credit. Open up, the marketing to to people.
Just don't check a bag.
Yeah,
you cannot check a bag.
You cannot check a bag.
Bring your own water.
$200 now. Like what? You come with a bag? They're like, that's gonna be $80.
And then in Europe, they have another budget airline over there called Ryanair, and like literally it's like €5 flights.
What?
Swear to God.
Oh, like shorter, like once you over there. And
once you get over there or whatever, like you can fly around Europe. Like we went from like Paris to Rome, I think, for like €8 on a flight.
Hard.
On a flight,
That's
like
hard.
you know, and then just
man.
Do you how do you feel about? You say you've been to Europe. Do you ever taking the trains out there? You like trains?
That's the best way to travel around Europe, I feel. Because one, you don't have to deal with the hassle of getting to the airport a couple hours early to go through customs and then, you know, doing all of that. You walk up to the train 10 minutes before it leaves. Like,
and then it's a bunch of them back to back, so you don't even have to really worry about
even if you miss this one, like, okay, it's another one going to your same destination 20 minutes later. Like,
so you just chill out. You don't even really got to plan as much. Like, long as you know when you want to be at the next spot, you just go to the train. Like, all right, what is it? It's 10. Let's go hop on this train. We'll be there by 2 or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So you like you in the fashion, as we kind of heard earlier.
A little bit.
What's he said just a little bit, but that man's humble, man.
What's the best place for fashion?
Exactly.
Like if out of all the places you've been to, he said 21 countries. It's a lot of different styles everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So where's the best place for fashion in your opinion?
I would definitely say Paris. Like that's just off the gate. Paris, then Milan, New York. I like the Cali vibe.
Right.
You know, it just every place has its own distinct.
What do you think? Like the style difference to like Paris and kind of like Milan and stuff. I know Milan, you know, they're real big on like the leathers and the suits and stuff like that. Like Paris, like more so like, you know, on the what, like you think like, you know, kind of similar at the same time. Like,
it is similar, but Paris is definitely more high fashion.
Right.
It's like, you know, like high fashion, like regular people are wearing.
Right.
High fashion, but like in Milan, I guess it's high fashion too, but like you don't see as much of it. It's like more style than label.
Kind of like Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo is dope. Tokyo is hella dope. Their style, like,
the
what's
Lolita,
the street
Lolita fashion and stuff.
Like
Takashika Street and all
that.
All
of that, like,
it's hard.
all of that is dope. Even in Shanghai.
Man, what Korea, Seoul.
Yeah, they be dripping.
I gotta get
they
to
be dripping in Korea.
Seoul, like when the trench coats a couple years ago, like first really kind of started blowing up, where everybody was wearing a trench coat. Like 2 years before that, I was in Seoul. Everybody had a trench coat. I bought one when I was out there. I was like, this hard. Like 2 years later, everybody had a trench coat.
Yeah.
Everything be coming from different spots. It's really crazy. But the more you travel, the more your eyes open up to like, it's gonna be over there soon. Or even the longer shirts. You know, back in the day when they had the longer shirts, Tokyo, they had been doing that like 2-3 years before.
And one thing in Tokyo, like they had really dope style, and I hate that I couldn't buy anything because I'm bigger than everybody. Like I'm 6'1", 215 pounds. Like I'm just like, you know, they short and petite.
You know, it's definitely a lot harder to find.
Hey, well, if you ever need something, man, just go and buy 2 pairs of pants and I hope sew them together.
All right, I definitely will. I definitely will.
Tailor
together.
Yeah.
Well, you travel a lot, man, and it sounds like you got you know real informative. What's a piece of advice that you would leave for travelers? People that's new to traveling or even experienced.
Definitely, one thing. When you travel, if you go like out from the hotel to like shop and do stuff like that, take your passport with you because you get your money back on taxes. You know that like when you in Europe tax free, you'll have to fill out a VAT form. I think it's called. I don't know what VAT stands for, but you fill out that little form when you shopping or whatever. Like when you check out, you show them your passport and all of that.
For real?
Yeah. And you get your money back in the airport. Like
damn.
Yeah.
Like
wow, I was just not hearing about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, he probably spending way more. That's what
that man's like, well, you know, I bought a Gucci belt, man. I gotta get some money.
You know what I mean? Like,
when they gonna give you $8, man, you can keep it, man. When it's like, hey, man, I need this $478, y'all.
Right. Like, cause you know, I mean, you know, especially like fashion, it is expensive, but over there, you know, at least you won't have to pay taxes on it. And then if you go at the right time of the year, like when the season is changing, like Fashion Week, like everything from last season is going into the outlets. So like you can go shop in the outlet. Yeah, it's a season old, but like I still got the Balenciagas. Like,
you know, it's gonna be new over here.
Right, and even at that same time, you know, it ain't gonna devalue. Like, it's still gonna be what it is.
Right,
like, you know, it might not be like, you know, like you said, the newest season, but if you put it on, it's still gonna be effective.
You know what I'm saying?
Put it on, man.
Right.
As long as you put it on, for sure.
I'm putting you down.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, you know, Paris is your number one. What's your number two, and why?
My number two. Whew. Everything.
Oh, everything else.
Everything.
Is just like, I love it.
Like, I love, even in Brazil, like, yeah, I had that bad experience, and that was my first time, and that could have turned me off from traveling. You know what I'm saying? But it's still just seeing different places and experiencing new.
Right. We'll go like this then, since that's a little tougher because you've been to so many. What's an experience that you remember, you know, that you had where you was just enjoying the scene and just sat back and like, damn, like I live a good ass life.
I was in Cuba actually. I was in Havana.
Okay.
I was in Havana, and it was just like, it was right when they like opened it up for Americans to start going and stuff like that. It was like maybe a month after they told us we could go.
So you was the first batch in there.
Yeah, I wanted to get in there. And,
try that vaccine right away.
But it was just like, whoa, like just sitting there, like our Airbnb, it was a like authentic Cuban house, and it was dope. It had a rooftop thing, and I was just sitting out there looking at the ocean, and I'm like, damn, like I'm here.
Right,
like it's
crazy.
just like, whoa,
Just
like,
especially out there, because I be seeing pictures and I be like, yo, that shit really like a time machine out there.
like
crazy.
you don't see any, like the only new cars you saw, it was like they were followed by security motorcades, like they were government. That was it.
For real,
like everything else is.
And all the cars run and stuff. It ain't like that.
Yeah,
like,
man, because all these other cars, they'll run now if you keep them up.
Nah, that's true. That's true.
All
Like
the
you can fix back
taxis,
then.
everything.
Yeah.
It's just old school.
Yeah, man.
Old.
Like what about like malls and just stores and stuff? You see like any difference in just like design or anything? Like
you definitely when you hear Cuba, people think third world country, even though I hate that term. I hate that term, third world country. I say underdeveloped country.
Yeah, no, that's
people think. But like they got a Louis Vuitton store over there,
right.
Nike stores. Like you know what I'm saying? It was like I wasn't
up.
expecting to see that when I went to Cuba, and I was like, whoa, like this isn't what we.
Hey, Cuba like money too. You know what I'm saying? They like shit.
I think that's like a finesse to your mind when you go to a place like you were saying that you consider third world, and you see so much luxury there. It's like, man, I would have never known this. And but the difference is a lot of places. It's such a drastic difference where you go one neighborhood and it's like people don't have shoes on. You go to the next neighborhood and it's Bugattis.
That's how Egypt is.
Crazy.
Like in Egypt, like literally, you were either dirt poor or very, very, very wealthy. Like,
yeah, let me ask you something about Egypt, because I've been hearing like you went to the pyramids, I'm guessing, and stuff like that. Like, how was like the environment and stuff like around the pyramids? Because I heard it was kind of real hustling and stuff around the area. And it wasn't really like what's that experience like for you when you was out there?
It's like real poor around the pyramids, and like we went and like people would come out and like children will come up to us, because obviously we're not Egyptian. They know that
and
you're
you probably got it on too.
No, like, and that's another thing. When I go to these countries, like certain countries, I will say like I'm not gonna be out there.
No, of course, but they can still tell.
Like,
because I know you big on photography, so I know you be like,
I mean,
I'm gonna bring it with me for this one picture. I'm gonna put it on.
I'll still be dressed nicely, but it's not gonna be like. Like it would be for like Paris Fashion Week. You know what I'm saying? But like the kids, like they ran up to you and just like, please, I'm hungry. Can you help me?
Yeah, you was
please,
like
hands on.
It was just like like they will grab you and like start surrounding you, and like then you think that you finna start signing autographs. Like no. I don't have it. I'm out here budget traveling too. You know what I'm saying?
That's the crazy thing about traveling, because I feel like when you go to a lot of countries, like they know that you there, so they assume that since you're American and you there, like that you just live like this super extravagant life. And that's what I be trying to tell a lot of people when I travel. I'm like, yo, like I come from a humble space like you did in my country. Like America's, this big like prestige country, but at the same time, like, like you just seeing outside looking in, like, it's still hard to get a piece of the real pie here. Like, they don't really get that.
Yeah, but it's crazy how once you're over there and you see that, like you see how bad those kids want whatever you have to offer, it makes you so grateful.
It does.
It makes you so grateful for what all you have, and it opens your mind to even like how much you take for granted back home. Like the smallest things. That's what always gets me when I'm traveling. Like a tip. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big tipper.
Right.
But you don't notice it because, it might be $10, $10. Right. And you like, that's not like, but some people, like, when you give them that money, like, oh, thank you so much for your service. They're like, I've seen people break down crying. Like, you don't understand. This just changed my life. Like, I can pay my rent. It's like, what?
When I was in Virgin Islands, it was like that. I bought a necklace and I gave her like a $15 tip and she was like, thank you. And I was just like, dang, like, it's powerful. Like if we throw away money like that all the time, like
right, because like even in like while we was in Egypt, we had a driver and a tour guide we hired just because like over there. So like do your research before you go to these countries too, just so that you kind of know about like how to get around and stuff, like how like what's the mode of transportation,
right?
Because like the Ubers, they're like mopeds over there. Yeah. So like crazy. I'm not
like that in South America.
I'm not getting on a moped for Uber.
Like they be having like options on Uber, so it's not like. I mean that's exactly right. But you could kind of, because some people didn't want that experience. So they be like, I want this tuk-tuk like experience.
Uber X.
See, but a tuk-tuk is different than just a moped that you just want me to get on the back of, and it's two of us.
So what do you say the tuk?
The tuk-tuk?
Yeah, they have tuk-tuk some places with.
For real, that's like, crazy. And you said tuk-tuk's like the motorcycle that got the little.
It's basically a bike with a buggy on it. But it's just like the moped thing, just got a covering pretty much. It's basically the same thing.
Nah, moped is like a scooter.
No, like these people wanted us to.
A lot of tuk-tuks are like less productive than the scooter.
It wasn't. They wanted me to hop on the back, straddle him behind me, like, and hold on.
Bro, that's how it is in
why they die.
So we hired a driver or whatever. And he took us around, like, and he was our tour guide too. Yeah. And took us everywhere. Like, we were there for 3 days, so we was with him for 3 days.
Right.
And like it was only two of us, and so I think we gave him like $200 each, at the end of the thing.
Right.
Just as a tip or whatever. And like he broke down crying.
Man.
And like we just was like, thank you, because we was gonna spend more than that, just like trying to figure different things out.
Agencies.
You know what I'm saying? But like you kind of gave us an itinerary on what to actually do, and took us to these places. So like
it showed you around, because like tour guide, like drivers who really give you that tour guide experience.
Yeah, like we went to his neighborhood and his, like we weren't just doing tourist things.
Right.
So like, just little things like that. It was so small to us. Like we didn't think that it was a lot, we just tipped, and it just made his day. Man,
probably made his month.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling.
Man.
Hey, take care of the people, man. Y'all go to these places, take care of the people, and they'll look out for you for sure.
For sure. And it's underrated like how much that matters. Like we always say like, hey, if you staying in a hotel or something,
I tip my housekeeper.
Man, that'll take you a long way. Or like if it's a place you plan on frequenting, like finding out who the manager is, contacting them before you get there, shooting them an email or something like, hey, I'm celebrating my birthday, blah 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 blah. Can you do you mind send me up for a high room? I just booked my room. A lot of times they'll put you a little bit higher, which is like not a big deal for them. That's not really much of a favor. But if you'll write like a handwritten note, put like a $20 bill in there, just saying like, hey, thank you, I had a great experience, this, and this. The next time you come back, if you let them know, you shoot them that email like, hey, I'm coming back. Just letting you know about when you come back, at least for me, you get suites. Yo. All of a sudden, when you check back in, they're like, oh yeah, you've been upgraded to a suite. You're like, what? And then that manager pop out like, yeah, hey, I was waiting for you, because it means so much. It's just something about, we all want to be seen,
right?
At our core, we all want to be seen and heard and valued. So a lot of times that little note or that little word of encouragement or that tip, that'll make somebody feel bigger than you can ever imagine. So make sure that you're going out of the way to show people you appreciate them, especially if they added value to your life on a trip, especially.
Yeah.
Especially.
I'm gonna dig into something that's a little bit less talked about. Tell me about the experience. Tell everybody an experience that wasn't necessarily your favorite, other than the Brazil thing, of a place that you don't think you'll go back to. Like, what's a city or a state or anywhere that you like, I'm not going back.
No, sir.
Because I got some of those.
For sure.
New Orleans is not one of my favorite cities.
I can go ahead.
It's just not. I've been a few
Orleans.
times and I've had good times, but like overall the trip wasn't good all 3 times I've been.
Is it more so like okay, I'm gonna get into
It's not just the people that I was with, but it was like, you know, just like when alcohol and the heat get involved, it's just a lot. Like
Yeah. It has a smell also.
Yeah.
I feel like New Orleans is one of those places, like when I first went, like I'm like, oh, this is it, like, you know, and I like you said, like it was really like some of the areas that you're going to visit for as a tourist, like it's really trash, like as far as like
throw up and urine,
yeah, and it's like you said, very cluttered, very, you know, like more than Vegas on the drunk thing. Like it's really like people like fucked up, like, you know,
people
drunk
like
and shit, like really wild,
passed out in the middle of the street,
yeah.
right? You like, he might die,
Right.
and everybody's just like,
yeah, and then I hate humidity and all that.
Right.
That's one reason why I fuck with Southeast Asia, but like it's just too humid
It's
over there
hot,
for me.
man.
Like it's
hot.
like I can deal with the heat because Egypt was hot, but the humidity and the heat, it's just like you can't even
Damn, that shit scared me too. I try not to look.
I was thinking that too. I was like, bro, my tree is leaning. Y'all keep bumping my. That's a real plant. You can
Just
pick
keep
it.
recording. It's still recording.
Okay, all right.
No, I mean, like, don't keep talking. I'm just saying,
okay.
like,
So what you gotta do?
Oh shit.
has this happened before?
No. Now that Mother Nature gonna allow us to keep shooting, you know, as you all witnessed, my beautiful plant tropical palm tree, he fell, but he's still alive. We're gonna get some.
We'll
some
drink
soul,
to that.
Pour some out for the homie. You want to?
No, cool.
Yeah, well, shit, I'm gonna drink all of it. Hey, man, R.I.P. my tree. Nah, my tree's still alive, man. Hey, shout out my boy. We got him back alive. I had to replant it, but we're gonna get back into it. What were we talking about? We talking about New Orleans?
We passed New Orleans, talking about just experience.
Oh, but before we go past it, let me say I love New Orleans. I don't want it to sound like I
for sure.
didn't rock with New Orleans.
Yeah.
Especially if you go with a group. If you go with a group, New Orleans is a ton of fun. You gonna be able to laugh at the dude who passed out in the street and keep having fun.
And you gotta know somebody, because when I first went to New Orleans, I went by myself, but I quickly met, you know, a friend of mine who basically showed me everything about New Orleans and actually took me to like the real spots that everybody goes to, the restaurants that the locals eat at. Like from like what Jordy was saying, you know, coming from outside looking in with like expectations of this certain restaurant and these certain places, you may not get the authentic New Orleans experience.
right.
So
And you gotta go for Essence Festival.
that's the worst time to go.
Nah.
That's the worst time to go.
I've never been there, so I don't know.
Essence Festival.
He said if you going for the vibes, just be going
Listen,
for
hey,
it.
I'm not the professor down at Essence Festival. I'm putting you down. But look, Essence Festival. Go do an Essence Festival.
But yeah, we
A lot of
gonna
beautiful black queens out there. But we're gonna get it back right.
we falling back
Take
to
over.
Joe. So you was talking about Thailand. You talking about the humidity. You know, it was you know, like just hot
Too
places
much.
with you. Go on, take it away from. I guess the question originally was a place that you just like, man,
Let's ask it like this. What has the perfect weather for you?
The perfect weather.
There we go. I
Yeah.
like this question.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara.
You said Santa Barbara?
Yeah, in California, right up the coast from LA.
You can't go wrong with Cali, man.
I love
You
Like
can't-
it's
yeah,
just
can't go wrong with
like
Cali.
it's literally like 76 all year round.
I
like
love
it's
Cali,
like
bro.
Shouts out to Cali.
the best
so.
thing.
Man, I love Cali.
Yeah.
Cali is amazing.
What about places that you ate at? Like, what's some of the countries and cities you've been to where that had some of the better cuisines in your opinion?
The best Chinese food I ever had was in Rio. I could not find sesame chicken when I was in Shanghai or Beijing.
They don't have it.
I know.
General Tso's is not in the menu in China.
When you go to Asia and you ask for fried rice, they look at you so crazy. I went to Shanghai and Beijing. Both places, I'm thinking like, I'm gonna find the real fried rice, and like a lot of people didn't speak English, so I'm talking about fried rice. They looking at me crazy, but one restaurant I went to was a little more luxurious, so the hostess spoke English.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I really want some fried rice, and you like pull me aside. He's like, we don't do that. That's an American thing. Y'all invented that, and I just
that's funny.
Like what?
Same thing with fortune cookies.
Exactly.
Yeah, I ain't know that either.
Man, what?
So what about the Chinese food you feel like just made it so authentic out there? Like, was there some Chinese people in there, or was like Brazilian dudes like
or
whipping
do
it
you
up?
like
No,
it
it
better
was Chinese
in the
people in there. Like it was Chinese people in there. Like
this Rio.
in Rio, yeah.
Gotcha.
I wasn't even expecting to see
Like Chinese
Asian people in Rio,
Right.
but like it's like a whole community of them down
Right.
there. Cuba has some really good food. Italy has some great food and wine. Yeah, those are the best.
See, I stopped
Yeah.
eating Chinese food in South American countries because the first time I ever got food poisoning, I was in Puerto Rico or Costa Rica. I was in one of them, and I ate some Chinese food. And I remember looking at it. I was craving Chinese food so much, and I'm an East Atlanta kid, so we be getting it middle of the mall. It's not real Chinese food. Like I grew up on that. So I'm looking at it. I cut it open. It was a little pink, and I knew better. But I was craving Chinese food so much that I was like, I'm gonna eat it anyway, bruh. I was on the plane. Like every 2 seconds, like, bro, I gotta run to the bathroom. And never would throw. I just sit there like, now I run back to my seat. Bro, food.
Yeah, I'm not a big Asian food person myself. So like whenever I do go to like Asia, I'm pretty hungry when I leave.
Got you.
What about McDonald's? You go to McDonald's when you was over there?
No, I do. Because they have different things, in Thailand, they had fried chicken at McDonald's.
Man,
Yeah,
the best chicken I've ever had in my life was at a McDonald's in Panama. Ordered a bucket of chicken, about 20 pieces.
The country Panama, y'all, not
Yeah, the
Panama
country, not
City.
pieces. But it was like
Definitely
the
not.
lady who made the chicken, older lady, McDonald's apron on, regular clothes. Everybody else got on the whole uniform.
Straight from the crib.
Straight from the crib, mama. And I know she wasn't following the recipe. Like I'm watching because one of my homies is Panamanian. We went down there for their Independence Day. We go just about every year.
dope.
And because they shut down the city, it's just like Carnival for real. Gotta go to Panama. Gotta go to Panama for their Independence Day. Craziest party ever. But anyway, he's like, bro, we gotta middle of the day, been drinking all day. He's like, we gotta eat something. Let's go to McDonald's. We're gonna go to dinner later in probably like 3 hours. So I'm like, I don't want no chicken. He's like, nah. Yeah, I gotta try the chicken. I'm like, bro, that's stupid. I get like a Big Mac or something. Everybody else get chicken. Everybody else listen to this man with me. You stupid. They give me like half a wing. Somebody like, cause everybody like, oh my God. They're like, bro, you gotta try this. I'm like, bro, I don't want to try it. That's stupid. Like, I don't even want to eat at McDonald's cause I'm planning for the restaurant later. We're going to like a more luxurious restaurant. Man, I took that little bit. I was like, hold up. I went right. Yo, let me get a 20-piece, please.
Right.
Man, that lady in the back. So they telling her like, he wanted 20. So I see them throw out like the 20 to the lady. I'm like, this lady ain't even wearing a uniform. So now I'm locked in. I'm like, yo, it's literally just an old lady in the back, flouring it up, throwing on her own spice. Like I could tell it was no recipe because she grabbing some of this. Like she put it in her hand. Like, yeah. I'm like, hey, this is
not even measuring.
But like
chicken
even like
ever.
the hamburgers don't taste like.
It's different. It's different
Like,
everywhere.
The French fries don't even taste like here. Like it's crazy.
I try McDonald's everywhere I go.
All right, since we're on the topic of spices and flavors, We're gonna get right to it, man. You ever had any type of romantic experience or spice hook up when you was out traveling somewhere?
Little something, but I don't want to get into that because you know my sister right there.
There you go.
My little baby sister, you know.
Hey, shout out baby sister.
Man. Shout
out to the production team.
You know, next time we'll make sure sis not here. You know, no, I'm just joking.
For sure, I respect that though. That's what's up.
Sure. Everybody, we know.
You know,
some things, some things ain't got to be said to be understood.
Whoever they are, they know. We don't drop names, but we'll say what location, and if you know, you know. Hey, if we speak on you and we say, oh, you know, I was in Toronto, and you know that's you, don't tell nobody. Just know that I know and you know and we know.
All right, I got a question. I'll fuck you up now. All right, so you from Birmingham, right?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to Birmingham. So you out of Birmingham?
Ricky Smile, Ruben Studdard, Ricky Smile.
Ricky Smile. We're gonna go Ricky Smile. What's a popular spot out there? A lot of people go to Birmingham out there, like a club or a restaurant or something.
Let's say we at Michael's. It's a
All right,
restaurant.
we at
It's a restaurant.
Shout out Michael's. Hey, shout out
Michael's. Go ahead, get him, Yates.
All right, boom. You at Michael's. You know, you cooling. You got somebody with you. Y'all having fun. Y'all partying. Y'all having a good time. Ricky Smiley walk in and he like, hey man, you know, I want that spot where you sitting at. And you like, I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. So security like, you gotta move. You like, no. So Ricky Smiley like, you know what? I'ma move him. So he come up and you like, bruh, you not having your way. You not having your motion over here. Mm-hmm. Ricky Smiley go ahead, beep, 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 beep. He catch you slipping because you were over there like, he a comedian. Woo. He catch you, beep, beep, beep. You hit on a nice lawsuit. Mm-hmm. You can go anywhere in the world you want. Anywhere. Where you going?
Anywhere for however long.
Yep, you ain't got.
Oh well, I guess.
We're gonna say you really hit. We're gonna say you really hit.
Yeah, I guess.
Because he was beep 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 beep.
Because he was tearing your ass up.
But you hit on the lawsuit. You go anywhere. Where you going?
So first I'm leaving out of Argentina, going down to Antarctica.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Antarctica. That's what's up.
And since this is just a trip, I'm gonna keep going, and from Antarctica I'm gonna go to well, I guess I'm gonna have to go back to Argentina because ain't no airlines in Antarctica. But from there I'm gonna go to Australia, and then I will have hit all 7 continents in the world.
Wow! Hey, shouts out to that.
Then just work my way back around that way of the world, and just keep coming back until I make a 360.
So, hey, shout out Ricky Smiley in this.
Hey, shout out Ricky Smiley.
Appreciate that lawsuit.
Appreciate
Right.
So that's
American
a real
race right there.
But that also shows how much of a traveler you are. Like, the only continents I haven't been to is Australia and Antarctica. Yeah. And that's a lot of people. Those are like, I mean, Australia's not too hard to get to. You just gotta be ready for
Australia
that
was supposed to be last summer, but COVID.
But Antarctica, that's a whole nother level of planning.
Yeah, if you've ever been to Antarctica, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and DM us. We'd love to talk about your experience.
For sure. But let's go ahead and let's go ahead and round it out. Let's hit you with the real question we really want to know. And we really want to know this because we want to be able to know you on another level. So we gonna just ask you.
What is your passion?
My passion.
Cut and dry.
I don't know. I guess that's why I'm out here going to all these countries to figure it out. You know, I like to. I'm passionate about looking nice, stunting on folks.
Hey,
what's perceived to be stunting, I just call it living my life, and I very rarely tell myself no. Like, it's a rare thing.
Gotta love you.
Tell myself
no. That's a good code to live by.
Shouts out to Parks and Rec because they actually, y'all watch Parks and Recreation?
Yeah, I'm more of a community guy.
Well, Donna and Tom, they got this thing on there called Treat Yourself, right? Yeah. And like that's where I really got that from. Like in college, it was just like treat yourself. Like this, that's just where
So you got a passion for living in life itself.
Yeah,
so that's beautiful. And I know travel had to open up your mind to another aspect of that, and that's one of my biggest points of this podcast, to really push any viewer, anybody who watches us, whether you agree with our perspective or not, whether you like our stories or not. We just want everybody to know that you can travel, because it really is a quick little mindset shift. Because I remember being, you know, a Keller Road baby, if you know Atlanta, who like really didn't think you can really travel like that. But it's really just knowing that it's possible. Meeting other people who've been all around, like he said, he's been to over 20 countries. Just recognizing that it's possible can open up your mind to knowing that you can, and from there you can break it down to like, all right, what are the steps? Like, all right, how can I book the flight? How can I find cheaper flights where I can afford it? Where should I stay when I go? Whether Jarrell's giving you hostel tips, or our guest is giving you Airbnb tips or hotel tips, or we're giving you coupon codes or whatever. It's just knowing that it's possible, and that's our whole core of this podcast. Well, we appreciate you for tapping in with us. We know you're going to find your passion. Yeah. You know, it sounds like it's fashion, whether you want to tap into it or not. But make sure y'all check out my boy Joe. His Instagram is crazy. We're going to tag it below.
And shout out to the production team, too, because Joe also get you together. You know what I'm saying? If you need some work and you need something that, you know what I'm saying, get somebody behind the camera and make you look good. You know what I'm saying? My boy.
For sure. One of the biggest photo studios in Alabama, for sure. You know, he runs that. So that's how we locked in. But y'all make sure y'all tap in with Joe. We're going to tag him below. Let him know that you appreciate his story, especially with Brazil. I ain't no... Hey, I'm a street kid. We fight with our hands.
Right.
I don't know how I'm gonna take somebody kicking me. I ain't gonna hold you.
Like some kind of Rush Hour movie or something.
What? Hey, I'm not one of them.
But you know, you don't know what you'll do in that situation. I just wanted to make it home.
Get out of there. I'm not knocking running, bro. It's two.
Because the nigga knows how to kick that. That nigga know got some shit.
He's gonna choke you to death.
Right. Like, that's just a kick. That nigga probably knows jujitsu too.
If we about to fight and I see you start hopping like this, I'm like, okay, hang on.
No,
I'm gonna whack you. Man, shout out to family. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Thank you for always listening in. We appreciate you. Shout out to family. Make sure y'all comment below. If you got any questions you want us to ask the next guest, drop it below. We'll make sure we write it down.
Or if you got any questions for Joe want any tips on how to ease your way and sneak your way into these fashion shows and how to stay drippy.
Exactly. It's different. Hey. That's another lifestyle. Once you in those rooms, if you into fashion and you want to pursue that as a lifelong career, you got to put yourself in a position, get in the room. So this the guy to do it. He just gave y'all 3 different fashion shows he been to. Make sure y'all tap in. We're gonna tag him below. Make sure y'all follow up, do your due diligence, get some information. But from that, if you rock with that, if you rock with the ability to reach him, make sure y'all like and subscribe. And, you know, any comments, we appreciate it all. Even if you hating, even if you talk about my beautiful plant that about broke down on I'm going to resoil them. We're going to get back right today. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. And, Joe, man, go ahead and give me your IG.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at JoeGottiKOB1. I'm sure it's gonna be somewhere right in here or somewhere in the description. It's gonna be in here somewhere. Yeah, let me know y'all saw me on here.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with the kid. We appreciate you. Go ahead and call it around.
Yeah, and y'all make sure y'all follow me at King of the Globe on Instagram, and make sure you follow the Drunk Tourist Podcast on all social media, Facebook, Twitter on the way. We on Instagram, we on Clubhouse, all that. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, and we appreciate everybody listening. And you know what I'm saying? DM us if you got an interesting story. You've been some cool places. We put you on here.
Hey, and make sure you follow me on IG at Hoes in the Pocket. I was laughing because I remember what my name was, but at Hoes in the Pocket. Hey man, say man, follow the Drunk Tourist Podcast on everything. We tapped in, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for locking in. Shout out to family. Till next time.